So it is popular in our current culture today to talk badly about the younger generations. Depending on what generation you are in, kind of depends on what generation you're talking badly about. But we do not currently value our children in a way that's like life-giving and encouraging to them. And in Jesus's day, children also were not valued in a much more real sense, though, because they were regarded as little more than property. And yet Jesus took the time to bless children, to encourage them, and he even used them to help change the world. He elevated them in society. So I want to take a look at how God sees children and how he used children to change the world. Our first note is that disciples were most likely teenagers. Where do we get this? We get this through Matthew 17:24 through 27, talking about the temple tax. Jesus and Peter are the only two mentioned as having to pay the temple tax. The temple tax was required for Jewish males who were 20 and above. Also, at this time, disciples were people who, disciples were young men who had completed maybe their formal education at the synagogue, but had not yet started their careers. Disciples were most often teenagers. That was the culturally expected time that you would be learning from a teacher, and the end result would be you would end up being a rabbi or a teacher. Usually in the synagogue or the local temple, and there are some different culture connotations there, but the general idea being that it was the teenagers that were the disciples. Also, in Matthew 18:3, and then actually throughout all the Gospels, we get the picture of the disciples sending the children away and telling them not to bother the teacher, and then Jesus blessing the children. This is him elevating kids at a time where children were simply regarded as less than human, as unimportant. Matthew 19:13 through 14 talks about the kingdom of heaven belonging to such as these. In other places, Jesus warns against leading children astray. In a time where kids were not valued, he said that if you were to mislead a child, it would be better for you to have a millstone tied around your neck. That's pretty harsh words in a cultural context when children were viewed as little more than property. So I think if we are people of the word, if we are people who claim to be Christians, then we absolutely have to value children. We absolutely have to recognize their important place, and also the fact that when Jesus sent out the disciples to spread the good news, to tell everybody about the hope and healing that was available through him, he used teenagers. Thanks for watching.